Algorithm. What do you think of when you hear that word? For most people today, it's probably social media. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, that thing we praise when it shows us something we like, such as the latest viral dance moves, or the thing we blame if it keeps showing us bad news over and over again. Whenever I hear the word, a part of me still thinks about analysis of algorithms. This was easily the most difficult course I took during my time here at PVAMU. At its core, an algorithm is simple. It's just a set of repeatable steps that are designed to produce a desired output. But applying it, optimizing it, and proving that it works, that's where it can become challenging. What if I told you impact works the same way? Major League Baseball legend Jackie Robinson once said, "A life is not important except in the impact that it has on other lives." Now that sounds powerful, but how do we actually do that? I have been a technologist my entire career, from developing on industry-leading entertainment platforms to building automation tools to improve business processes. And I'm also involved in various organizations that focus on serving the community and giving back, helping those in need. And what I've learned is this: the same principles we use to design algorithms can also be used to design impact. See, impact is not reserved just for those with massive platforms or seemingly unlimited resources. Anyone, every single person in here can make an impact. You just have to follow the right steps. So this picture was taken during halftime of the 2018 homecoming game here. Like any other homecoming, I was excited to be back on the hill, just like old times. I was especially excited for this one because I was able to join my local PV alumni chapter in presenting this $50,000 donation back to the university. This donation would fuel our endowment held by the university, which gave scholarships to students on campus, as well toward the development of our new athletic complex and football stadium. This is what the output of impact can look like. Now, let me be clear. We didn't start out donating figures this large. This was a result of us repeating the same steps over and over to produce increasingly greater results. This is where I introduce you to the impact algorithm, a step-by-step framework for creating meaningful impact. The first step in the impact algorithm is awareness. It always starts with awareness because this is when you stop asking, "What can I get?" and you start asking, "What is needed?" Identify a gap, see a problem, an opportunity to make something better. All universities have a need for their alumni to stay involved, to give back. This is how they continue to thrive and give their students greater opportunities than those that came before them. For me, by the time I graduated from here, not only had I received a quality education, but I had been poured into so much that I wanted to stay involved. I felt responsible. I had a responsibility to give back. So I joined the local PB alumni chapter where I lived. Now for you, your need may be different. It may be in your career. It may be in your community. It could even be in your home. But here's the thing. Once you clearly see a need, you can't unsee it. And once you've seen that need, the next question becomes, where do I fit? This takes us to the next step in the algorithm, alignment. Alignment is about connecting who you are to the need that you see, your gifts, your skills, your experiences, your perspective. This is where you ask, how can I provide value? Because every one of us is unique and has something to offer that nobody else does. So you bring your authentic self to the table because impact rarely begins with what you don't have. Bring your current gifts and then be willing to be uncomfortable and stretch yourself. This is where you can grow personally as well. I can think of several times in my life where I stepped into a new and unfamiliar space by leveraging skills that I already had and came out learning something new. Like the photo I just showed you, I was treasurer of the alumni chapter at that time. I still remember when I first took on that role. I knew nothing about managing financials. I didn't have a background in finance, in accounting, in business. I just saw a need in that chapter for that role, so I stepped in, stepped up, learned, and adapted to things as they came. And in the end, I ended up managing budgets of thousands of dollars and even implemented processes that are still in place in that chapter today. Years ago, in my fraternity chapter, we had a need to engage younger people in the community, bring younger people to our chapter. So a few of us decided to start a STEP team. We had never had that before. We thought it may be a good way to engage a younger demographic in the community. Now me, I had never stepped before a day in my life. I really barely have any rhythm, to be honest with you. But I thought I could bring my leadership and my organizational skills to at least make sure the team operated properly. Now what ended up happening was I ended up learning how to step myself a little bit. Now I did plan to do like a little step here for y'all real quick, but once I saw this nice stage set up, I didn't want to break it. So just know I still have it a little bit. But seriously, our STEP team actually went on to win its first few competitions, which became an unplanned fundraiser for the chapter. We also used it as a means of service because we ended up performing at community events that brought awareness to different causes. And we used it to engage the young men in our mentorship programs, and we did actually see an influx of younger members joining our chapter. See, alignment happens when your skills intersect with the real need. You've now become a part of the solution. And after you have aligned, that brings us to the next step in the algorithm, action. The action step is where the algorithm really begins to run. You show up, you execute, and refine consistently. During my undergraduate years, I interned somewhere pretty much every summer. I remember about halfway through one of those internships, I sat down and had a meeting with one of the managers, and he basically told me, we want to see more effort from you. You basically need to step it up. I was confused. I felt like I asked all the right questions. I was doing anything they asked me to do. I performed all the tasks they asked me to do. But I said, okay. So after that meeting, I went on the hunt to take on as many projects as I could for the rest of the summer. By the end of that summer, when the interns did their final presentations, I ended up working on twice as many projects as any other intern. I was even complimented on how well my presentation was and how well I delivered. So I meet with HR as we wrap up the internships, and I'm not offered an opportunity to come back the next summer. So I take your feedback, I work on all these projects, I give this great presentation, yet you don't want me back? Make that make sense. I was told, you're very bright, but we can tell this is not where your interest lies. Out loud, I'm thinking, how can you tell me where my interest lies? But quietly, I'm thinking, you're right. So even though I was working on all these projects, I wasn't moving with intention. I was just performing tasks to check a box, just staying busy. And see, when you perform actions without awareness and alignment, it's just activity. And don't confuse activity with really getting something done. So I took this experience from the internship and made sure to try to find value in anything I took on after that. Matter of fact, in my very next internship, I was honored with a top intern award and given the opportunity to work for them full time after I graduated. See, the action step is not just about showing up and executing. It's about refining the actions taken. What worked? How do we improve upon that? What didn't work? How do we adjust it? And if you keep doing this process consistently, the impact will grow. And this idea of the impact growing takes us to our fourth and final step of the impact algorithm, Amplification. Amplification is about lifting others as you rise. This is where impact compounds, scaling far beyond what any one person can do by themselves. If you know someone on a similar path as you, mentor them. Teach them what you've learned. Actually, learn from them as well. That $50,000 donation we made to the university, that wasn't the result of one individual. That was the result of a group of people coming together with a shared vision, contributing their time, their energy, their resources towards a common goal. Now, this picture was taken earlier this year. So just a few years after donating $50,000, our alumni chapter was able to almost double that and donate $90,000 back to the university. And this wasn't because any one person worked harder. It was because we added more people to the algorithm. If you even notice, it's not even the same people in this picture that was in the last one. See, that's the thing about impact. When it's done right, it keeps going, even when you're not in the room. So, if you want to create impact, whether it be in your career, your community, or in the lives of others, remember these 4 steps, remember them. Awareness, alignment, action, amplification. Repeat after me. See the need, connect your gifts, do the work, lift others. That's the impact algorithm. And whether you realize it or not, we're already running algorithms in our lives. Our attention is the input, our actions are the process, and our impact is the output. So let's not ask ourselves, what algorithms are we running? The real question is, what result is it producing? Thank you.